We have big Sarah Boone news. Her defense has been filed, but first we got to talk about her attorney. Her attorney did some interviews, and this is all from memory, but he admitted the way he found out Sarah Boone needed a lawyer was actually from her filing where she had that help wanted. But he saw it on, I think it was Court TV's video. So that's how he became aware. He assumed someone would take on her case, and they didn't. He then went and visited Sarah Boone. He didn't want to take on her case, but he was trying to get her maybe a deal. That didn't work out. He left, and then later on, he was asked to come back and represent her. He also did try to correct something the judge said. The judge said he was operating pro se. He says he's not. He says Sarah Boone will pay him back someday. And in an interview, he says that some of his clients only pay him $50 a month. So my guess is he's someone who doesn't like doing it for free and gives them a small amount, like pay what you can. And that's just how he handles it instead of calling it pro se. That would be my opinion there. Now here we have, notice is hereby given that Kevin T. Beckit hereby enters his appearance as co-counsel to James Owens. So she has a second attorney. Yes, we have a second attorney now. That is crazy considering she went from 0 to 2. And here we have the provisions of discovery. This is just all of the discovery that was given to James Owens. There's nothing here that I noticed that was different. This is all just the exact same stuff that we've seen before. It's just the Sarah Boone discovery. And then we have this. So this is the notice of intent to reply on the defense of battered spouse syndrome. So this is the notice of intent to reply. So this isn't the reply. This is a notice they're going to reply. That's how I read it. So there'll be another document coming soon, or whenever they get around to it, when they can. Comes now the defendant by and through undersigned attorney under Rule 3.201, battered spouse syndrome defense of the Florida Rules of Criminal Procedure, gives notice of intent to rely on the defense of battered spouse syndrome and states, at the time of the alleged offense, the defendant was suffering from battered woman syndrome as a result of the physical and psychological abuse the defendant sustained at the hands of the alleged victim, George Torres. Dr. Julie Harper will be a Category A witness for the defense in establishing this condition on behalf of the defendant. Dr. Julie Harper, forensic psychologist, Northwest Florida Psychological Services, blah, blah, whatever. And we also have, and we'll come back to this in a second, we also just have here, we have a notice of unavailability. The assistant state attorney will not be available for the 16th to the 20th of December. So back to this, right? So I want to talk about this because we're talking about battered spouse syndrome, right? They have to convince a jury that Sarah Boone did this because she believed, at least from my understanding, she believed this is the only way to get out, right? I have a lot of issues with that. So, generally speaking, with battered spouse syndrome, where I've seen it in cases, because I've watched some cases in the past where it's been argued successfully, the woman has to do it to get out. There's no other way. She can't see another way out. She has to do it, kill them to escape. He was in a suitcase. He couldn't get out. She didn't leave. She didn't leave. She didn't even make sure he was dead. She went upstairs and went to sleep. How do you use this defense? Maybe I'm understanding the defense. I don't know how you use it in this case. There's video. Are they going to try to get the video thrown out? I don't think that's going to happen. If she can sit there and taunt him, she can run. She can call the police. She can escape the situation. And if she felt she had to kill him, she has repeatedly said that she went upstairs and went to sleep. She didn't make sure he was dead. She didn't sit on the suitcase. She didn't crush him on purpose, as she's trying to say. How does this work? And it's not just me saying that. I mean, I read your comments. People in the comments are asking the same thing. How does this work? How do you play this off to a jury? How do you play the video to a jury and go with this defense? I don't know what the lawyer says. Like, how do you? I'm trying to like imagine, right, the way he's going to word it and push it, and I can't do it. How? Like, let's say he the physical and psychological abuse he says that George Torres inflicted on her. Let's say he can prove all of that. But her actions that night don't seem to match battered spouse syndrome defense. To me. I think the video that Sarah Boone took is the end of this defense. But it's probably the only defense they have, right? Like, what else could they do? I mean, I'm not trying to, I want to be clear, I'm not trying to fault the lawyer for pushing on this, right? Like, this is the defense. What else do they do? It's Sarah Boone. But even if you argue that, like, she was physically and psychologically abused, pushed into a corner, she didn't know what to do, she had to do this to save herself, she didn't kill him immediately. She didn't run and get help. She had him in a suitcase where theoretically he could have gotten out, and she went to sleep upstairs. That's the part I don't know how you even argue. But maybe this is an amazing lawyer, and he's going to have some amazing persuasive way to put this to a jury. Maybe there's like something in the law that I don't know about that makes it so that you can just incapacitate and go take a nap. Well, I just, because from the average person's mindset, right? When I think battered spouse syndrome in a murder case, oh my God, I'm going to die. I have to kill him because he's trying to kill me. That's one. Or, oh my God, I can't go out the front door. He'll chase me down and kill me. I have to kill him. I can't go to my neighbor's house. He'll kill them. He'll kill me. I can't do this. I can't go to the police because he'll kill me if I go to the police before the police can't save me. Something like that. What I don't see is zipped into a suitcase, haunting them for an extended period of time, and then taking a nap. I'm trying. The reason I didn't do a video immediately, like going into like this, is I've spent a couple days trying to think of how you could possibly word this, and I can't. Maybe that's my lack of imagination. But again, I can't really fault the attorney, right? Because, like, it's Sarah Boone. What else do you go for? She's not gonna be endearing to the jury. They're not gonna like her. They're not gonna, like, the evidence is pretty bad. What do you do? Now, her previous lawyers, from what they said, were planning to do this defense too, and they left the case, which makes me wonder how much water the other attorneys believe it held. And maybe they told Sarah Boone her actual chances in court, and it led to disagreements, and they quit. I don't know. A lot of people seem to think that this attorney is going to stick around, especially now that there's a second attorney involved. But it's Sarah Boone. I mean, if she thinks she can get rid of him and delay it again, I think she'll try. So we'll see. Because, I mean, she'll not be in jail once she's convicted, right? That's when she goes to prison. And she might be, get as much time served in that jail as she can before prison, maybe. She's used to the jail at least, doesn't want the change. I don't know. I can't make heads or tails of this. I can't figure out how you argue this to the average person, how you show them the video. You show them now the police interview. The lawyer's trying to take action on, right? Like trying to say something was done wrong or whatever, but just the videos on her phone. Just the videos on her phone. I don't know what you say to someone